think obviously we've had a very tough non-conference schedule. I would say we're really tested and probably as ready for conference play as we can be. I think relatively healthy. We've had a few players kind of dinged up just with a short bench, but as far as that, I think obviously we've gotten a lot of people a lot of experience because of our short bench and lack of depth. So I think that they've all been tested and they've gotten plenty of minutes, and I don't think there'll be that factor of going into an environment where we really don't know what to expect. We've been at Oklahoma, we've been at Mississippi State, we've been at Ole Miss, we've been at Arkansas, and I'd like to not go back to those places for a while, but our players, I think, are ready for conference play.
Okay, talk about the most pleasantly surprising element so far this season for you.
I think the chemistry has been really good with this group. Sometimes as you have change on a staff and they're trying to gel and players are trying to figure things out for themselves, sometimes that can be a difficult deal. But I've been pleased with our chemistry. I feel like that they've come together and kind of bonded and are trying to move towards that one goal of us being successful and getting better every single day.
You're looking at double headers this year in the Southland Conference, first time in 6 years that we've gone back to a tried and true format. What's your take on conference double headers?
Well, I think it's a tremendous deal, especially, number one, I'm excited to be able to watch Coach Mike's team and just how exciting they are, and I think they're going to do great things this year. So I think being in a lot of different schools, I've never been able to do that, and so we often get to watch them practice and get their take on the games, but actually get to see them compete and support them and cheer for them. I think that's big. I think it helps build camaraderie with both teams, both men's and women's basketball, and I think that's huge for a number of reasons. But also it's great for our fans. You don't have to fight over, what I'm going to take my kids to dance this week, or am I going to go to the men's game, or am I going to the women's game? And so I think it's going to be great, especially for a town this size, that everybody can get behind men's and women's basketball, and it can be an event.
All right, your team, as you mentioned, has played several power teams, like the SEC, the Big 12. You led Mississippi State last Friday night at halftime, battled them tooth and nail. Talk about that game particularly and what it showed about your team.
Well, I thought, number one, we valued the basketball. We had 7 turnovers in the first half, and we felt like that was a very winnable game for us going in there. I think the mindset with our players, if this team believes that they can accomplish something and they have that confidence, then they're more likely to go out and compete that way. And I was very proud of their energy and their effort. We've told them from the beginning, we're not going to coach energy and effort, and if you bring those two things, we're going to put you in a position to be successful. Now, we can't make layups for you and we can't take care of the basketball for you, but we will give you a chance to win if you will bring those two things. And I felt like they did that. They believed they could win. We led by 9 at the under 4 media, led by 2 at half, and then kind of weathered the storm against their 40 minutes of pressure and just didn't value the basketball enough in the second half and went 11 minutes without scoring. But I think it's a tremendous experience for this young team. Talked to them after the game about that. We may get in a situation like this in conference play, and you've been in that situation, and now we'll know how to respond. When we get punched in the mouth, we'll be able to handle that physicality and respond in a different way.
Right, you're here at conference play, and I know that the start of conference and the stretch of games that you have is very daunting because you're playing several of the best teams.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, I mean, you could probably say we're playing 5 of the best teams of, the upper echelon teams of the league to start with. And anytime I think you look at 5 games in 10 days with a short bench, that's, could be a little worrisome. But, we're going to take it again. It's with this team and as where we are with the program, it's about taking it one day at a time. I know that sounds cliche in coach speak, but it's true. We've got to get better every single day, and if we can focus on doing those little things, then we're going to see results at some point.
All right, let's talk specifically about the matchup with McNeese, the 2-time defending champions.
Yeah, that's a great way to open conference play. But, they've got an experienced backcourt. They lost a couple of key players for them, and they've played a tough non-conference schedule as well, going to Vanderbilt, playing Tulane and Ole Miss this past weekend in a tournament down at Tulane where they beat Ole Miss. But they've got a very experienced backcourt, and anytime you have a team that has great guard play and experienced guard play, that poses problems for you. But I feel like, there's some areas that we could really excel in, and we're going to go out and we feel like we have a great game plan. Our kids have had a couple of really good days of practice and preparation, and looking forward to the opportunity to go out and compete against them.
All right, let's fast forward to Saturday's matchup against Lamar.
Lamar has one of the best players in the league in Kalis Lloyd, a bigger perimeter player that can shoot the three, can put it on the floor, can take you inside and post you up. So she's going to be a difficult matchup, I think, for us at times. But Coach Tidwell has always done a great job. We know he'll be prepared. They played at Texas Tech in December, early December. It was a very close game until about the 6-minute mark. So they're going to compete. They're going to pose some problems, I think, with their size and their length. But we feel like, again, it's another opportunity to go out and get better and a chance to compete for a Southland Conference win.